Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. So wonderful to see you. Feel free to turn on your cameras. Oh my goodness, familiar faces. Oh, this is
Good
wonderful.
morning.
It's official. Global Water Dances 2021.
Bonjour, Natasha.
Bonjour, ça va?
Ça va et toi?
Excellent, très bien.
Belle année à toi.
Très excité.
Super.
Okay. Oh, good morning, little one. Bonjour.
Désolé, hein, il y a les filles qui viennent ici.
Jamais
Là.
désolé pour le petit enfant.
Bon.
Là, c'est le futur de cette
C'est à la
projet.
maison, donc c'est...
C'est excellent.
Oh.
Feel free to put your videos on. Feel free to be a little chaotic for the next 1 or 2 minutes as people sign in.
Hi, there seems to be an issue with my video.
Okay.
Trying to sort it out.
No problem. We're going to work out all the kinks. So yes, while you are, hello everybody. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm so excited. Can you feel my excitement? Can you see my excitement? Okay. I'm going to let us be a little crazy for the next 42 seconds. So while we're waiting for others to zoom in, just take a few deep breaths and start gathering your thoughts. One of the first questions I'm going to ask you is where you're from, where you're living right now, and if you've done global water dances before. If yes, which years? If not, welcome. All right, about 10 more seconds.
Woohoo!
Who made that beautiful sound just now? I have no idea.
Me, Raga from London.
Hello. Good to hear you.
Hi. It's too early for UK to wake up on a Saturday morning.
I appreciate my early birds.
Oh, thank you.
Hello. One of you is on a 90-degree angle. That's okay too. Hi, Hannah. There we go. All right, let's get started. Good morning.
Hi, how are you, Natasha?
How are you?
I'm
great.
good, man.
How are you?
How's the kids?
They're sleeping.
Okay, let's be quiet, boys.
as we all should be. Do this for me. Show me your hands. Wiggle your fingers. Put them on. Situate them so that they're at the edge of your screen.
Sorry, it is too earlier to start, and the lady are not ready to let me alone. So
no apologies. you go with the flow. That's one of our mottos here. Bonjour. And just hold hands with the screen next to you.
Bonjour.
For a good morning squeeze.
Fais lever la main comme ça. Lève la main comme ça.
Just to get a sense of
Voilà.
we're together in this. We're together again. For some of us, it's been 2 years, a little less than 2 years. Take a deep breath in.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, everyone, just say good morning and then mute yourself. Good morning.
Buongiorno a tutti.
Bonjour. All right, and now mute yourselves.
2 minutes et après tu vas rejoindre maman.
Fabulous. I'm so excited to see you. First things first, I'm recording this video. So if you would prefer not to be seen, then definitely turn off your video. I want to, yes, I'm gonna put it on speaker view now. So the video should be recording the person who's talking. That's the plan anyway. We'll see if it works out. All right. Yes, that's what I want. So we're going to speak for the next 44 minutes. At some point, I'm gonna ask us to get up and move because that's who we are, movers and shakers. But for those of you who are brand new to Global Water Dances, you're gonna get a sense of who we are as a community. We're improvisers, we're present, we are open-minded, and a little bit of chaos sometimes, but we're gonna go with the flow. Feel free to put questions in the chat. I will not be answering them as you put them, but I would say the last 20 minutes of the meeting, that's where I'm gonna live. I'm gonna live in the chat, and I'm gonna try to address all of the questions in the chat, and which questions I don't address, I'm gonna save and I'm going to respond via email. Can you write in the chat now where you're currently living, where your body is right now in space? And if you have performed and participated and led Global Water Dances before. Just to give people an idea of where we're at and who we are. Great. Feel free to keep that chat rolling as I share my screen with you. Give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen right now. Great. And give me a thumbs up if you're looking at the words Global Water Dances right now. Yay! So, Global Water Dances is a project of the Laban Bartunieff Institute of Movement Studies. There are 6 of us currently on the International Steering Committee, and we are really excited about this year's iteration of Global Water Dances. We are very aware that we are in the middle of a pandemic, and organizing Global Water Dances is in and of itself a challenging thing to take on. But we have the challenge of the pandemic that is an extra, that comes with, that brings a whole set of new challenges. But we decided that we were going to forge ahead and give people, our community, site leaders, dancers, choreographers, audience members, an opportunity to explore the fears, the frustration, the anger, the isolation, all of those things that are negatively associated with the pandemic, along with the positives that are coming along with the pandemic, including reflection, a recommitment to global concerns, a recommitment to appreciating community. So we really want to encourage you to embrace all of what the pandemic is challenging us with while you move forward in your Global Water Dances preparation. What is Global Water Dances? This might be a reminder to some of you. Global Water Dances, in a nutshell, is about using participatory art to help us engage in environmental advocacy and activism. We connect and we support a global community of choreographers and dancers to inspire action and international collaboration for water issues through the universal language of dance. It's in our name, Global Water Dances. It's an event that happens around the world every 2 years, where we are environmental advocates of water, and we use dance and all of the creative processes that are associated with that to build connections between ourselves and others, and our issues and our ability to affect change. It's a very exciting thing that we are celebrating our 10th year anniversary, and the program this year will mark our 6th time organizing events. And what has been consistent since the beginning of our organization in 2011 is that we have grown from year to year. And we want to do everything that we can as a steering committee to make sure that our numbers continue to increase, not just for quantity's sake, but because we know that the work we're doing is really important, and we want to expand our reach because we understand that what we're doing is of high quality. So we are thinking specifically about how to continue to grow, but continue to work on a deep level. As we grow in numbers, we want to grow in depth and quality. In 2017, this is the last official numbers that we have, we were in 108 locations where approximately 1,200 dancers participated globally with an audience of approximately 5,000 people. So worldwide reach. And a part of the reason we want to grow is because what we're doing is advocating for water. We want to continue our vision that people will individually undertake a personal commitment to water stewardship and encourage their elected officials and broader communities and neighboring corporations, you name it, to follow suit. But we understand that it begins in the body and it begins with dance. A big part of why our program has been successful is because dance is used to help begin and sustain a personal journey to instill water stewardship. It's community-based and it's full of hope. There are some serious and challenges associated with water advocacy, and moving the body in creative ways in community helps to balance out the seriousness of the work that is called for with the pleasure and the joy that we all experience as movers and creative people. So we're going to move in a little bit just to keep your brains functioning and staying with me. The sections of, there are 4 sections to every Global Water Dances event. So yes, it's a global event, but we try to encourage choreographers and participants to maintain this idea of a structure so that there is continuity. So the structure is the beginning, there is a ritual or an opening ceremony. Section 2 is the local dance. Section 3 is the global dance. Section 4 is the participatory dance. So in the first and the second sections, the emphasis is on the local needs and the local resources of each site. So local choreographers in South Africa, I see you. In Italy, I see you. In Benin, I see you. There are issues that are specific to where you live, where you breathe, where you move. In these first 2 sections, we encourage you to focus on those issues, be inspired by those issues, and take on the challenge of those issues. Section 3 is when we feel the support of the world. And this choreography is movement that is performed by all of the participants around the world. And there is definitely a structure to this choreography, but even within the choreography, and this is in keeping with the tradition of Rudolf Laban and Irmgard Bartunieff, whose work is at the core of the philosophy of what we're doing. Even in this choreography, there are opportunities for individual expression. You're going to see in the next couple of months, we're going to explore this section in a way that's different than we have in the past. More to come on that. Section 4 is the participatory dance. So we are encouraging site leaders to inspire the audience members to get involved, to get in their bodies as a way of concluding the event experience. And that's what we're going to do right now. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. So the whole point of this participatory dance is simplicity and participation. Let me see if we're in gallery view. Okay, good, we're in gallery view. So this is a movement phrase that we want to encourage everybody to be able to do. So it's like really simple. People of different movement abilities, different ages, even different levels of enthusiasm could be able to do. And the 4 parts are as follows. Clouds go up, rain falls down, we wash our bodies, waves go out across the world. In movement language, directions high, low, in and back, front, out to the sides. Here we go. Clouds go up, rain falls down. We wash our bodies and the waves go out and around the world, and clouds go up, rain falls down. We wash our bodies and the waves go out and around the world. And of course, we can do that standing, we can do that moving through the space, but that's just a way to make sure that everybody feels involved, to kind of challenge the performer audience barrier. So back to screen share. Give me a thumbs up. Can you see that? Excellent. So we have new developments for 2021 because it's a new year and it's the 10th year anniversary, and we needed to do something to take on the weight of this challenge. So we are going to have a webinar series that is more involved than our past webinar series, where most of our Zoom meetings focused on information. This webinar series, and you're going to get emails about this in detail, including dates and themes. This webinar series is going to be more like workshops and community building events, and they follow themes. So for example, the February theme is global, and we are going to have experts helping us take on the challenge of making connections in the time of a pandemic, using technology, using social media. In March, the theme is water, ritual, and environmental health, as a way to support the work you're doing and to give you an opportunity to be replenished and yeah, feel supported. So I've got an amazing woman who is, her name is Luanda Mori, who is deeply practiced in ritual-based, water-inspired movement explorations and movement technique. So she's gonna lead us in a movement workshop for about an hour, as it's just a way to say thank you, and you need to be replenished and rejuvenated too. So we're gonna give you some of that water energy to say thank you. And for April, the theme is dances, and we're going to have two neuroscientists talk to us about what is it about dance that helps sustain humanity ever since the dawn of time. What is it about dance that helps the brain develop? And especially when we're dancing in community, how does that give us energy to get through difficult times? And then of course, throughout the months, we will have our informational sessions, because there are lots of questions and we need to support each other and hear about what everyone is doing. We also are working on a documentary to celebrate our 10 years of existence. And that is going to feature a lot of our sites, include interviews from site leaders and participants and audience members, as a way to really see in a 20-minute time frame the impact of this work, the lasting impact, the global impact of this work. And it's something that you can share with potential donors to help people understand that you are a part of a serious, big, beautiful movement. And last but not least, we have extended the event this year to an entire week. Don't worry, you don't have to dance every day for a week unless you want to, but this is giving people an opportunity to have more choice about when they do the events that they organize, and it gives us more of an opportunity to watch others' events. We're really excited about those new things. So this is the schedule of the week. We're going to kick off with an opening ceremony on World Oceans Day with a splash mob. And this is a very simple 1-minute movement splash mob that we're hoping any and everyone in your community will get involved in. It's going to be disseminated on all of our social media. And we're hoping that young people that do flash mobs all the time, this is going to be a way for them to get to know global water dances and what it's all about. Those are the themes of the webinars that I mentioned before. And then on the 12th, which is a Saturday, that's the day that we are anticipating most people, if they can, they will do their event on site in the space. That may or may not happen. We have to be ready to figure out ways to celebrate with each other, even if we're not in the spaces at the local water area. So we have it's not a backup plan because we're gonna do it even if the world is in a healthy state, but we wanted to give people an opportunity to share their work online. And so that's going to be on the last day of the festival on the Sunday, the 13th. Details about all of this will be in your inboxes within the week. So wrapping up, what is Global Water Dances about? It's about diversity in every possible way that you can imagine. It's about community building. It's about free performance in the public domain, which is a political act. It's about synchronism, feeling together, emphasizing togetherness and the strength that comes when we are feeling that we're a part of a community. And it's about moving and celebration. So that is my presentation. I really want to take a look at your questions, but I do feel like I've heard my voice for way too long. So I'm going to actually do something a little out of my plan, and I'm going to multitask. So I want you to raise your hand. You guys, if you don't know how to do this, I will explain. But there is an option for you to raise your hand virtually on Zoom. So I would like to hear your voices. So even if you wrote your questions in the chat, I'd like you to raise your hand so that I can unmute you so we can hear your voice, ask your question, and then we can have a little bit of back and forth. Not just questions, but also comments about anything that I said. Imagine if you are a returning participant, what you would like to say to the new participants in the Zoom call. Basically, I spoke for about 20 minutes, but like if you could say in a nutshell, all right, everything Natasha said was fine and good, and we've got the PowerPoint, and we're gonna check it out later, but really what you really need to know about Global Water Dances is this. So feel free to make a statement and feel free to ask a question. So if you don't know how to do that, I think you go to participants, and no, it's not participants. I thought it was participants.
It's your more. You click on your more, and the first option at the top is raise hand. Then it's chat, meeting settings, minimize meeting, disconnect audio.
It's my what, Hannah?
It's your more. So at your bottom screen, you should have mute. You should have video stop video. You should have share screen. You should have participants, and then you should have more. When you click on more, it's the first option at the top that says raise hand.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to call on Hannah.
Yeah.
Hannah, go for it. What do you want to say? What do you want to ask?
Well, firstly, hi. It's so good to be back. Honestly, it really, really is. I think for me, Global Waters is like it's like camp. It's like, okay, I guess I'm gonna go do it. And then you're like, oh, it's so fun, but you know, I also low-key miss home and I don't really like the food here. And then you get home and you're like, are you gonna go next year? Like, nah, I already did that thing. And then the following year comes and now you're like, ooh, I actually missed camp. I think for me, Global Waters is like that. It's like I missed camp, but in that space, I'm so excited that I'm here for this year, because this is something that Global Waters has always said, to say, how do we open it up? And I think even for us as a company, it's about saying, how do we open it up? How do we continue to work not just with artists, but people in the community? And so I think this Long Week Festival is exciting. Paul and I are like, okay, how do we get projections so that we're not having people sit in small spaces due to the pandemic? How do we get projections on screens and we do like a movie night, maybe in a park, and people can come and join the webinars and things like that? So I think for us, we're really, really excited. And I know when we did it 2 years ago, we had one of our students in it, and all the other kids cried. They were like, we want to be in it, we want to be in it. But they were all 6, 7. So there's only so much you can do with a 6, 7-year-old. But now they're all a bit older. So we're really excited to incorporate them in more. I think, Paul?
Yeah, and like it's quite an exciting time now, because the challenges the world is facing, and especially now, it's about innovative, it's about creativity, it's about meandering, finding so much ways to be able to present this awareness, because it's much very important. And we're sitting at the top now of the norm, because now there is wash your hands regularly, social distancing, wear your mask. So the water is on top now of an everyday life. So the challenges that we are facing this year are very, very exciting. We know that the regulations are not the same in each and every country. They have their own regulations. So that's quite also exciting. How do we move about this new norm? How do we educate people in this new norm? So it's quite exciting times and challenging times. Very challenging, but exciting.
I mean, Paul and I, we were laughing. We were like, it's so crazy because in South Africa, we don't always have water. So now how there was a moment where the schools wanted to open and one of the principals said, how can we open if we don't have water? And one of the ministers said, oh, just use sanitizer. And we're like, okay. So yeah, I think for us this year working on this, it's so much more. It's so much more emotional. There's so much more depth that we can tap in. And I'm like 24 now, so I think I'm old. So
if that's old. Thank you so much for sharing. That speaks to the power of enthusiasm in the face of a challenge. I'm also reminded of the power of artists. So this is something that artists have always done, taking on a challenge and being inspired by it. So that enthusiasm is very, very, it's viral in a good way. I caught that. I caught the I caught the enthusiasm, and I don't mind that virus. I'll take that virus. Thank you so much. Raga in London.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry, there is a problem with my camera. Otherwise, I would have shown you my most beautiful face. You know, I'm missing that. Okay, so reiterating on what Hannah has said, you know, it's all the more relevant in the context of, you know, facing challenges, and reiterating on what you have said, the power of art, the power of enthusiasm. Now, my participation as a site leader and a choreographer and a dancer myself in GWD was the first time, last time, 2019. So it's about joy of coming together with a shared purpose, with a shared value, a sense of, you know, collective participation. And obviously I'm a dancer, so using dance and movement to convey meaningful messages. So I mean, very interesting and very relevant this year especially. And welcoming all the new participants, put your best foot forward in literal terms, you know, put your best foot forward because it's dancing and movement. And and looking forward to, you know, this year's the way we do. ultimately, because we have to, and UK being, the country with the third lockdown going on, one of the very, very few countries having the third wave, third lockdown.
Yeah.
We don't know how things unfold by then, but let's be positive and um, be ready with the plan B as well, if not on site, because June is about 5 months away and we do not know what unfolds for future. But yes, let's get going. Just let's jump into it.
Jump in, dive in, dive in. Thank you, Raga. One of the things that we have talked about in the steering committee meetings is we've explored this question that you spoke about, backup plan, plan B. I want to encourage you to organize yourself as if your site will not be available to you in June. I really want to encourage you to do that. And so then your backup plan is actually your first plan, so that if your area is in lockdown, there's, instead of feeling defeat and instead of feeling disappointment, it's action plan, we're ready for this. And then if you're able to dance in your site, then it's like a wonderful celebration. This is something that we're talking about. And we think that technology can help with this. So that's what we're going to explore in the first webinar. I wonder if anyone in the group, because I just checked the chats and there are no questions, and I'm not surprised because I'm throwing a lot of information at you. Thank you so much for your patience. But I wonder if there's anyone in the Zoom right now that, we haven't had a pandemic before, but anyone who has used technology in interesting, innovative ways in either global water dances in the past or your own creative artistic projects that could speak a little bit to my invitation to plan for lockdown. Hannah, darling.
So I think what was actually really great, the last time we did global water dances, you introduced us to Zoom. And so I just kept it, you get an app, you keep it. And then finding last year, especially in South Africa, Zoom became the dominant sort of platform for information sharing and things like that. And so we've seen and we've participated in there's been some performance spaces where it's happened on Zoom and it's been improv classes. Last year during the midst of our lockdown here, we were offered an opportunity with South African State Theatre to do work. And so we were rehearsing with the cast on Zoom, and then when we could in the space, then again we had to shoot our performance piece, because as much as it was a live performance, we could never do it live, and so we had to shoot it, the space in between film and live performance, which I think was a very tricky one because nobody really wants to sit and watch an hour long of theater. Also because we were getting so used to being on the screen the whole time that concentration was just disappearing. And we're also very committed and involved in interviews and documenting. I know in the first one we did, we had interviews afterwards, we had interviews before, and we had the full thing recorded with images as well, because we said that. We said documentation and imagery isn't the second option, it's part of plan A, like you said. And now currently we're part of, it's a WhatsApp international festival. And so essentially we've had to create bite-sized performance pieces, performance arts, live installation works, and it's all been uploaded onto WhatsApp, but almost like a clickbait. So you would send a message hi to the WhatsApp number, and then it comes up with a menu, and then you get to watch all of these performances for free. So currently that's where we're at. So we are really enjoying the online space. We
Yeah.
really are enjoying the online space. I think for us this year, it's about how do we, I think because technology is so expensive and because South Africa is a bit behind, it's about saying, okay, how do we budget correctly in order to get the most and maximize the most from or out of technology, so that it doesn't feel like we're poor African children who are trying our best to put things together, but we still have a high standard and high quality of work that is still as equally accessible to those who are struggling with internet, struggling with data. I know in South Africa, data is next to
bread.
It's next to bread is cheaper than data. It's just
Wow.
everything is unbelievably expensive at the moment, and so we're constantly saying, how can we find technology, but how can we absorb it into our day-to-day lifestyles? I saw the message. I'll definitely send you the link. In the
Send
message.
me and I'll share it with everyone.
Yeah, love
and
it.
Postcard means voice recording, because some of the people don't have smartphones. So what you do your voice recording for them to be able to access the information or to access the work via
a voice note, on audio, like a podcast.
Make smaller clips to put them via radio, local radio station. So now it becomes you reaching as many people as never before, you know. And that's like quite exciting using technology. There are online things, there are apps that we can be able to upload work in them and then share it to the world.
Yes, and yes, very exciting. Some of what you dropped right now, I've never heard before. So I'll follow up with you, Hannah, so that I can share it with the rest of the community. Thank you so much. I just want to read Jill's text. I agree. I had never used Zoom before the last Global Water Dances. Also, our national theater here in Uganda is interested in finding ways to partner with us and use technology to help us involve as many people as possible. Great idea, this idea of partnering with the theater, partnering with another organization, partnering with an environmental organization, pooling resources. Definitely reminds me of something I should emphasize: build a team, build a team, build a team, build a team. Yes, I will share that WhatsApp performance information with everybody. Yes, wonderful. So I'm going to share screen again and take you on a little tour of the website. While I'm doing that, if questions pop up, please feel free to put them in the chat. Share screen. All right. So here is our lovely website. We are ready for 2021. I want to emphasize, if you have not already, please do what I'm about to do. Go to For Choreographers. Go to Event Site Registration Form. I have to talk very seriously right now. I'm serious about this. No more fun, Natasha. And you fill out this form, people. Register your site. Okay, after you put in your email and you click next, you will be taken to a Google form. And you absolutely do not have to have all of your information. You're going to enter what you know, and for what you don't know, you can put something like TBA, TBD, to be announced, to be determined. Once you do that, that's what this, yes. So here we go. You enter your name, your city. I would say that focus on just your name and your city and your country, and anything else you can always come back to. Once you complete this registration form, I'm speaking to the newbies and the returners, you will get an email, and at the very top, you'll see that you can edit your response. That's why I want to encourage you to do this today. Don't let your uncertainty prevent you from getting yourself registered, because it gives us a really good idea of what's happening in the world, especially because you can go back and you can edit your response. Once you do that, you will in real time be added to the 2021 map. So let's see who's already on. Jill, who just wrote in the chat, she's on. Jill is representing, she's holding down Uganda, as well as Mary in Uganda. All right, Uganda, I see you. 2 sites already. Who else is on here? I feel like giving people some shout outs. Is anyone from Turkey here? Raise your hand. This is very exciting for me. To feel good, I visit this map every day to feel connected. And I do read the information to see how things are progressing. This is also a wonderful thing to do if you want to connect with people in your city, country, or region that you didn't even know is involved in global water dances. That's how I've built connections in Switzerland. And this year, especially because so much of our lives are on Zoom, I'm planning to do a kind of like I don't even know what to call it yet. It's gonna be we're going to figure out how to do a Swiss dance over Zoom. And if the other choreographer in Switzerland didn't register, I wouldn't know to reach out to her. And she was very excited to hear from me, which made me feel good. So go to this map, see the building, feel the growth, and get excited. So please, 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 please do that. And what else did I want to say? I think that's it. I'm checking the chat. Oh, thanks, Hannah, for already sharing. Wonderful. Yeah, anyone else have any questions or comments? Anyone really confused? Anyone really worried? Anyone have a negative experience that you want to share that we can learn from? We're not afraid of challenges here. So are you nervous about something? Are you, what's going on? Go for it. Yes.
So hello everyone. Here is Aymar Esse. I am from Benin. Right now I am in Berlin with my family. So I participate in the Global Water Dance last year, and we make a video on our, let's say, venues, which is called Gambier. So they have very nice super dance on the water with the boat, and everybody make acrobatical things on the water and so on. And for the 2020, we were planning to make the global water dance in Dassa, which is a rocks area, and the access to the water is quite complicated, and there is no lake, there is no ocean, and to dig and to get the water in this area is very, very complicated and very hard. And now with the new pandemic, I hear what is going in South Africa in terms of water, using access to water, how complicated is it, and how the water is coming into the life days. So, and for 2020-21, this year, I am very happy to hear that the global water dance is going to be extended like on 6 days. that can help the participant to have more knowledge. It's not just about one event, like 1 hour or 1 day's working. And then we can see how we can connect all this topic to the water using, all this pandemic and so on, right? And yes, my worry is about with all this, let's say, pandemic norms, distancia social, and so on, how it is possible to make 5 days event and put people together and to not to go over the pandemic reglementation. But I can tell that in Benin, the reglementation are not so high like here in Germany. It is very, very hard. I mean, because we have a lot of sun in Benin. Je suis en train de travailler. Tu me laisses finir? Ok, tu peux partir avec ça. Allez, va jouer avec Ayo avec ça. Merci.
But then come back later.
It's very not easy, but we are managing.
Yes.
So yes, and in 5 days working with so many people to make documentary and so on, I wonder, I don't know how will be the budget, how will be the financial aspect of 5 days working and so on, and how each person can make. Me as filmmaker, for example, to make a documentary in 5 days, I need like a crew, like cameraman, sound designer, editing after,
right.
And to make also online event at the last day.
Right.
I think in Africa, as Hannah tell, the connection, the access to internet is quite expensive.
Right.
It's quite expensive, and to make it online and to have such flow videos sharing worldwide. So I don't know. So if Natasha can give us all these answers that can help to know how it will go in 2021. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that question. I don't have answers, only suggestions and responses. I really do encourage all of us, and I'm included in this, to think about the week, the festival week, as the time to share. This is just how I'm thinking about it, and have been talking about it. So if this does not resonate with you, put it to the side. But the way that I'm thinking about that festival week is a time to share. I'm thinking about trying to complete my projects by June 1st, so that I've got actually 5 months to work on things. And I can extend that, like I can extend my process over a 5-month period as opposed to a 5-day period. It does call into the question of money, because the longer you're at something, the higher the costs. In the past, we have received, we have worked with sponsors, for example, Revival last year, and private donors, and we've been able to set up an application process for people to apply for funding. We unfortunately do not have Revival as a partner this year, but we are actively seeking other partnerships and other sponsorships so that we can offer potential financial support to choreographers. We are also trying to figure out how to communicate to you potential funding that you can go to yourself. That's going to be on a page on the website, and I will send an email, or Vanya will send an email, the artistic director, when that information is uploaded. The other thing that comes to mind is this idea of social, like even if you're able, even if your site is not locked down, we're still in the middle of a pandemic. So can choreographers use distance as a creative tool, as a as a choreographic limit to inspire a different result than would have been if we didn't have that constraint. So can your dance be a dance that ensures a 2 meter distance between the dancers? Now, Aymar is a filmmaker, so that poses lots of challenge in terms of the position of the camera, but I think it's gonna call for creativity, and it's gonna call for trial and error. And the other thing I want us to remember is that we have resources here. So there's some of us that have taken on these challenges and been really successful in the past and are willing to share. And there's some of us who are so creative and they have got great ideas. And there's some of us who have access to funding. So email me, I will share this information. If you want to volunteer your services or volunteer your time, I have a great idea that has worked really, really well for me in terms of securing funding, in terms of organizing my time, in terms of organizing this event in a 5-day time frame or a 5-month time frame. Email me, start emailing each other. I think that's the best advice that I could give, short of the concrete strategies that we're going to share with you in the next coming months on the website and in the webinars. But all of the questions you asked are absolutely on the forefront of our minds, and we just have to keep talking about it. Keep talking about it, keep emailing about it, keep posting about it. And we're gonna find our way through. I'm confident about that. I want to say your name, but I don't want to say it incorrectly. So can you just tell me your name?
My name is Neele.
Neele. Thank you. Please, Neele, share what you have to share.
For me, it's the first time I'm assisting. I knew already, but now I take the step to assist. I'm in school with Stefanie de Breukere. I don't know if you know her, but she's a Laban teacher. And she has not so many time now because so much things to take care for the pandemic, for her school and everything. That's why I'm here in her place a bit. But I hope she will have some more time in the future for helping me to set something on, to assist and to take care of a good thing. But I'm already, the enthusiasm of you all, I really am happy of it, yeah. But I forgot my question now.
Just keep talking. Neele, where are you in the world?
I'm in Belgium.
Wonderful.
Belgium, yeah.
And you know, you can email, let me put it in the chat, info@globalwaterdances.org.
Yeah.
And then my email is this. Are you? I'm stalling for time, Neele. I want you to remember your question.
Okay, I have the question.
Great.
If there are people assisting with us, do they have to register it also, or it's just for the ones who are taking charge of the to organize?
Wonderful question, and I forgot to mention this. Thank you so much. I'm happy you stuck it in there, stuck it out. I'm going to share the screen one more time before we do the movement phrase and say goodbye to each other. So, oh, I wanted to show a little bit of your video, Aymar, but we don't have time, but I know how to solve that problem. Where are you? Not there, not there. I don't know how to find what I'm looking for. Please be patient with me. It's gonna be worth the wait. Where are you? Okay, let's just do this. So, for choreographers, for site leaders, and these are the people that are organizing the event, you are filling out this event site registration form. Give me a thumbs up if you see the screen that says for choreographers at the top. You don't. Stop share, and I will share again. Thumbs up. Yay! So this is what the site leaders, the organizers are going to be filling out. If you want your collaborators, your dancers, your environmental partners to receive information from Global Water Dances, point them to this page, Global Water Dances for Choreographers, and encourage them to sign up to join the newsletter. But we do, in terms of organization, it will be easier for Global Water Dances to communicate with just the one site leader through the apparatus that we have just for site leaders. We sometimes have information just for site leaders that we disseminate, and sometimes we have information for the broader community. So for the broader community, people that you want to really, want them to feel involved, they sign up for the newsletter, while site leaders sign up, register their site. All right, it is 2 past the hour, so I am going to stop, even though I could talk to you forever. You guys have to go back to sleep, some of you. Some of you have to start your day. It is, I really feel like it's real now, seeing your faces, hearing your questions, hearing your voices. That's my son, Aymar. Where is your daughter? Can you bring her back so she can say hello to Nathaniel? Say hi, everybody. Nathaniel participated in Global Water Dances in 2017. Can we do the dance with everybody? It's really, really simple to say goodbye. You don't want to. You don't have to. I'll let go. So let's take a deep breath in as we get ready to say goodbye. Exhale. And we are going to allow the clouds to go up with a different energy this time. And let it fall down. And we are gonna wash and thank ourselves for being here. And we are gonna give energy out to the screen to our entire community and the whole world. And now we're gonna pick it up again. Clouds go up, rain comes down, wash our bodies, and waves go out. And around the world, clouds go up, rain falls down. We wash our bodies, and the waves and the love and the appreciation and the inspiration and the gratitude goes out to all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I so look forward to talking with you individually, to getting to know you better, to getting to know your sites better, to taking on the challenges with you and supporting you through them. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Bye-bye.
Thanks so much, guys. I'll be back.
Yeah, unmute. Let's have a cacophony of goodbyes.
Bye.
Yeah, sharp. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
everybody. Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Cheers.
Beautiful.
Yeah.